We're live. We're live. We're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GSG stream. Great to see all of you for the second time this week. This is not Aaron. This is Alex, trying to fill the very big speaker presenter intro shoes that Aaron usually leaves behind when he's off to doing other cool things. But this time it's not about Aaron, it's about the very special people that are joining us in Deep Rock to have fun and play some video games with us. We are joined by the awesome people at Pugstorm, the people we played Core Keeper with earlier this week, also the developers of Core Keeper. And we can do a quick round of introduction so you know who's who and who you'll be seeing playing Deep Rock Galactic this time around. Let's start with the ghost ship side of things before we get to our guests. We have Jacob, our community manager, social media manager. Hello, Jacob.
Hello, hello.
You're doing good?
I'm doing good. I'm playing video games.
Great. That's great to hear. I'm glad it was in your contract, so glad we
still
we
should
made
have read
that
it.
work. And we are joined by a stream veteran programmer and Deep Rock Galactic player specialist, and yeah, Johan, the Deep Rock Galactic Johan. Hey, Johan, welcome back to the stream.
Hello, those are some serious titles right there.
Yeah.
They're also in your contract.
Well, you wanted Deep Rock Galactic in every title you want. What do you want me to... You asked for this. Well, and from Pugstorm, we have two graybeards, it looks like, looking at those player levels. Wow, they are rivaling, if not surpassing, the the ones that we've showed up with. Let's start with Oscar, also known as Raxo, which I guess is Oscar named Oscar spelled backwards.
That's correct.
Hello, Oscar.
Hello, everyone. Excited to be here. So yeah, I'm Oscar, gameplay developer at Core Keeper, and have played my fair share of Deep Rock, you could say.
I gotta say, you have one of the yellowest drillers I've ever seen. Very good.
I feel like yellow drillers is a compliment.
Yeah.
You know?
I tried to look for like a Wario.
Yeah, that's you're definitely succeeding there. And with a slightly less gray beard, but still far up there in player rankings, we have Felix. Hello, Felix.
Hello.
And what do you do at Pugstorm?
I'm the head of rendering, and I also do some game design stuff.
Head of rendering, so you're making sure that all the pixels look great on screen.
Exactly. I touch every single pixel in the entire game.
Well, that's we didn't think rendering was such a manual task, but
I can't believe those eyebrows actually work for those models. That's amazing.
that's great eyebrows.
Well, you know, the flares are really bright, so I need something to kind of shade it out a bit.
I mean, leave it to the rendering programmer to find a way for those eyebrows to get rendered on top of the glasses. That's some Well, glad you found that bug for us.
Bug?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think that's a feature.
Yeah.
Well, the head of the Johan would know. So I won't be joining you, actually. I'll actually be stepping a little bit back and letting you play the game, because when we talked about us coming along and playing Core Keeper and having a fun time and playing a music instrument or two and hanging out and maybe completing a boss or two, we thought it would be like, that's a fun laid back stream, and you were like, yeah, let's play Elite Deep Dives and Deep Rock together. And well, we had to scrounge up some very experienced players to make that stream happen. So
And you're still putting us to shame with those player levels.
I know. I tried to say between the line is I had to step aside.
I knew.
Sorry, go on.
I knew Oscar played this game, but I didn't realize he played it that much.
I mean, I like the game. I can say that much.
Yeah, I do too. It's very good. I'm super stoked for this, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Same. And don't let my level fool you. I still make all the common mistakes, I'm sure.
There's a floor inspector deep within each of us, I think.
Yes.
All right.
Have we started a deep dive, by the way?
Yeah.
All right.
Carnal
Just before
Carnal perfection.
we have to finish the ritual, I feel.
Oh, yep, of course.
That was one of the titles that didn't make it into the contract. Game Night 360 says, "What is the blocky weapon framework called?" Which one are you
Oh,
referring
I
to?
can't remember the one I took, or I think it was the mil spec. Could have been mil spec.
Oh, I don't have any game audio. I just realized.
Ooh, let me fix that for you. 1 second.
Just another day in the streaming room.
Yeah. Is it just in
This
the options
one-
menu?
No, I think it's maybe.
Windows. I think it's.
Oh, wait.
Pick up Dante. No. Then it might we don't have the input.
Oh. Now I have audio.
Well, this might be it.
Oh, did you adjust the master volume?
No, I think that's the one that Aaron was.
No, but I didn't touch it, and now I have audio. Okay.
It's magic. It's just magic.
Amazing.
It's fine. Don't question it. The audio fairy.
I have no idea what I did, but it fixed it. We have some programmers here on stream. Does that ever happen to you?
Yes.
Sometimes all it takes is for someone else to look at the problem, and then it just magically fixes itself.
And how do you feel after that?
Great.
Great, and then worried.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, how many things about the game do you notice you wanna like either change or iterate upon when you play it like this, either on stream or just to playtest?
Over the years?
Yeah.
I think that's a good question. Now there, how is playing on stream a lot, Johan and Jacob, kind of spawned ideas for changes throughout the years?
I think I really turn off my inner game developer when I play at least Deep Rock on stream. Now the audio is gone again. What the fuck?
I have some very specifically for
And now
me
it's back
things
again.
I'd
Amazing.
like to have I always forget 5 seconds later if I've taken a resupply or not. So I'd really like some sort of indicator that tells me, hey, you already took something here.
Mm.
Just like a tiny light that's like the color of the class or something. Could do wonders for me at least.
Right, yeah.
You double dipped.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
that's
yeah.
also fair. I don't mind. That's
Double dip warning.
yeah.
Mission control just whispers in your ear. You have double dipped. Don't take it again.
Final warning, minor.
I should whisper in everyone else's ear and tell them like, "Hey, scout,
This
just
is
just
this
so
is
you're
a
aware."
weird landing spot. I've never seen this before.
Oh.
Have you seen this, Johan?
Uh,
Oh, what? That's a hole over here. I did not see that.
I didn't realize we had oxygen the thing going on until
me neither.
Oh, right. Should check that.
It's a good warning alert though. It saved my life.
That's another thing I would like to tweak is that when you're getting very close to reaching 0 oxygen and then you get oxygen again, it doesn't sound like you're getting oxygen again. It's still like a very panicky
Right.
audio there. That's something I'd personally would like changed. That and the resupplies, I think.
I just want more enemies like in the mods.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Starship Trooper mod.
For instance.
Yeah. And the-
Oh, we're joking.
yeah, those elite deep dives are definitely too easy. More enemies.
For sure.
I mean, some people feel that way.
Do you have any design philosophy when you make enemies? Is there something that would make it too challenging or too much unlike what you wanted to play like? Or
I mean, it's really case by case. Like, I think usually when we introduce enemies, it's like they need to fill a new sort of role or design space that the previous enemies don't.
right.
At least the later on we got into development, the more it became like that. And I guess usually we try to keep things easier than harder. But I don't think we have any like very super set in stone rules for when we're making enemies. We're kind of taking it one by one as we make them.
I think one of the key questions is what's it adding?
Yeah.
We have compared to how much variety there is in the enemies. They all have very like distinct. They are distinct to each other, even though there are some overlapping like roles that they play. So when we introduce something new, yeah, like it's we are really thinking about what kind of reaction does it what kind of decisions does it force upon you as a player?
Right.
I get that gets increasingly harder, right, with time as you add more stuff. Like the opportunities for new designs kind of shrinks in a way, makes it even tougher.
I mean, harder and harder. You do shrink sort of the designs. You have drawn some corrals around like what's the design space that you're working with, but also sometimes fun ideas and opportunities just sort of pop up from different places. Like I think Mood introduced an enemy in the board game when they did that we then brought into one of the seasons. I think it was the Distinct Tail, or which one was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah,
the least controversial enemy in Deep Rock, I think.
Oh yeah. I can safely say
Always that guy who gets me, I feel like.
Yep. And that ties back into, I remember you mentioned fall damage was a very common way to die in this game, and the Stingtail sure makes that more
contributes.
adding to those stats. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm doing my part.
It's a very, as a scout, I feel like it's a very common scenario when it's like people are down. I'm trying to, because usually you can use the boomerang to get someone up to stun an area, but then there's always that guy. You hear that sound, it's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to finish this rest, am I?
The squeaky toy is coming for you.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a squeegee that Trolls the sound designer used to?
Yeah, it's one of those window scrapers on, I think, our audio designer's shower door or something.
What, really?
Yeah. The sound designers tend to gather a lot of sounds themselves and like also like organically go like find fun sounds and interesting sounds that sometimes can also not change drastically, but like inform like what type of enemy it is. Sometimes we see a couple of the sound designers, on the canteen kitchen floor area with all these little mallets and stuff like that, and balls that create friction that they're running up against the ventilation part and the different glass doors and stuff like that. So.
Is sound engineer like the most "what are you doing" kind of job?
Yeah.
The true art form.
Yeah, and you're always like, let him cook, let him cook.
Yeah.
Sometimes literally, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's for work. We did.
Yeah. We need a sizzling sound. So I'm just making some lunch for us all.
Muffin are over on YouTube going, I love Core Keeper. Yeah, it was super fun. We had a really good time playing Core Keeper.
Very glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's such a, similar to Deep Rock, it's such a cozy game in the way that it's not a like it's not a like it is, it's darkness, there's sometimes scary monsters and stuff like that, but you're doing that together. You're sort of braving the darkness and doing stuff with the people around you, and I think that's what we sometimes consider like hygge and coziness here in Denmark.
Yeah. And As you like you say, by exploring together, you get to place torches wherever you've gone, and this is like like eventually brighten up the world with whatever things you build yourself and such.
Yeah.
It's something I really like about Deep Rock. Like sometimes it's because you think of it as like, oh, I'm always shooting, you know, and it's always action, and I'm grinding progression and things. But there's a surprising amount of times where it's very, you know, it's very atmospheric and cozy, like you say. You just take in the kind of the atmosphere of the cave when not during a wave and there's no music, and like the audio design is spot on, I gotta say.
Yeah.
And even
So when
visuals.
those sound guys are like doing weird things, it's like, yes, you should definitely let them cook.
I think we sometimes talk about the sound image. Like, what is the sound image of the game? What is it that when you close your eyes, you sort of recognize as Deep Rock and feel in Deep Rock? When we when I know that not just the sound designers are working on it, but together with the designers and the whole team. And there is, I was thinking about when you said like you bring in torches or flares to sort of light up the world, and especially Felix from an like rendering perspective, because you have to deal with like I guess how all the pixels are lit in the game.
Yep.
Because light plays a huge part of the game, and it's sort of we use Unreal here, and you know that there's a whole lighting that. We use, you know, all the lighting algorithms that are there, but we also have to be considered about dynamic lights, like how many flares can we actually allow people to throw and be lit at the same time? Because if there were 1,000 flares on screen, then performance would probably not be great. And I'm wondering, did you have to work around some similar things with Core Keeper when you were making, like, because lighting is such an interesting part of that game?
Oh yeah, it's something we spend we spend many hours and many hours like arguing over how things should like what's important, things like that, and also definitely in terms of performance. In the in the early days of the game, we used like that was actually before I joined. One of my first tasks was working on this, because we used the default like lighting stuff in Unity in many ways. There was some extra stuff on top, but in terms of like shadows and how those were rendered, it was like the default solution, which there wasn't really any type of, you know, optimization on top of that in terms of, did the world change? You know, like, are these shadows, do you need to recalculate these shadows? So if you put down 10 torches in the game would render like as if there was another camera. It was a cheaper camera, but still 60 extra times, because every single light had to render the world like 6 times, because it's this cube map shadow thing. That was not very performant. It was very, very bad. But it was something we fixed quite early. That would have been. It's funny to think now, like that would have been, you know, totally unacceptable to have in the game, because it would have been extremely bad for the player experience.
Oh shit.
You might not have been able to like make the game in the way you wanted, I guess, from those restrictions.
Yeah, for sure. There's still some extra stuff in the game. Like right now, we're quite happy, I think, with because we ended up building like a custom rendering pipeline that really works. You know, we can optimize it for the very specific case that is Core Keeper or that type of game. But there's still some, you know, extra stuff on top. For example, if the player puts, you know, 12 torches in a square or something, then we do selectively like cancel some of them, and things like that to kind of, because you don't really need, like, the player often doesn't need to, you know, oh, I wanted this area to be as bright as the sun. Like, they don't really gain anything from that. So there's still some special stuff like that on top as well.
Yeah, and it's not that common to have a rendering engineer on a sort of project that size. I feel like it's you sort of need you need that to be a part of the game. I feel like it's because with Unity and Unreal, you get a lot of the what would usually require rendering engineer, like back in the days when it was mostly what's it called, bespoke engines, people making their own engines. But it makes a lot of sense when you kind of see what Core Keeper is and what it can do.
Yeah, and I think something that it's easy to. I think it's not maybe super evident immediately that the tech behind Core Keeper is kind of like there's a lot of engineers working on that, you know. But because it's this pixel art game, it's kind of easy to think that it is rather simple. Where that not. Oh Jesus, we're dying.
I realize now that I could have dug us to the drop pod, but
Yeah.
oh well.
I mean, welcome to our streams. It's kind of hard to have a deep talk and play Elite Deep Dives at the same time.
It's just an extra challenge. It's a challenge modifier.
Yeah.
Watch out for the resupply.
Yep. Yep. Oh,
David Aldrich over on YouTube going to the previous discussion we had on mobs. Do a mob that messes with your key bindings. Haha. I feel like that's such a bad thing.
That's a.
There was a game by Arrowhead, the developers that made Helldivers, also a Swedish developer. One of the first games they made, I think might be the first, it was called Magica. And it was this top-down game where you were co-op game where you were 4 wizards. And you could mix a lot of different things into different spells. And some of the spells you would usually mess with the other players there because there was friendly fire. So when you cast a fireball that was big, it kind of blew up the other players. And one of the spells in the game was crash the desktop. So when you cast it on another player, they would crash the desktop, I guess.
That is so funny. I love that.
We never. Hey, we passed the first stage.
Yeah.
It reminds me a bit of, is it Metal Gear Solid that has a boss where you need to like unplug your controller or something?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Psycho Mantis.
You have to put it in the other port.
Yeah.
Switch port.
Because he says I can read your mind.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you can't. Not if my controller's in the other. The other slot.
And it also cuts the game to black and displays video at the top, but instead it's Hideo, as in Hideo Kojima.
Also, it reminds me of a GameCube game called Eternal Darkness that also did because when your sounds got low, you got more and more insane. So it would you walk into a room, then your head would just pop off, and then it would just reset, and you would be into the beginning of the room again. It would also turn down the volume of the game, like it was your TV turning down the volume. Like all these.
They also did save data delete fake out, I think, where you do get ejected to the main menu and your save is gone, but it's not. Oh my god.
I should have said something.
I'm just more embarrassed that I'm a scout and I got grabbed by a game leech.
We usually keep score, so that's 1 point for you.
No.
We have this thing where we don't really warn people when we play, so then we tell the score at the end. We're gonna have a trophy made at some point for the people at the office who played.
But it never really happened.
No, I think we have the design, we just haven't had it made yet.
What does the winner get?
You just get to have the trophy until the next time we stream.
Nice.
They win the pride, the honor of being the worst, I guess.
Yeah. The award for not looking up the least.
Yep.
The most. Alright.
Gamers looking up challenge impossible.
I gotta say, I love the cave leech. Not in the sense that it's like. I mean, I hate the cave leech, but I just love what it adds to the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's very good for the verticality of the game to make it more relevant.
I feel like it's a very good way to add something that's difficult as well, without it being, oh, now the game is more challenging because you die faster.
Which is all you have to do is look up.
Yeah, I gotta say that's something I think ROCK GALACTIC does super well, because I've played many games that are kind of similar, in some ways, where there's horde shooters, like Killing Floor and stuff. But I feel like the way they make it difficult is usually, it ramps it up to this level where it's like, okay, well, if I want to play this game at a high level, it is super. I gotta be super into this game. Whereas in ROCK, I feel like it's way more approachable and still very fun in that sense.
I think you get a lot of tools in ROCK to deal with the situation in many different ways.
Yeah.
Anything that comes with the procedural generation and what that adds in terms of verticality and traversal and all of that as well.
I think it's also like a lot of challenge in Deep Rock comes from like the knowledge gap and not necessarily the skill gap. So like when you know a lot of things, Deep Rock becomes a lot easier. But everything in Deep Rock doesn't necessarily require like a big skill check to overcome.
I definitely felt that when I began, I could barely beat Hazard 4, but now Hazard 5 is like a lot more manageable because I just happen to know how things work more.
Tom over in YouTube going, Johan is back. He is.
Hello.
And Grocker on Twitch is going to the Magicka talk we had. Magicka had some effect that made players WASD swap movement directions. That sounds like a, I mean, it sounds like a fun Deep Rock mod where you can sort of mess with the other players, but also everybody kind of needs to know that's happening.
Before the stream, I had to disable a Google Translate mod that basically just jumbled every voice line in the game to gibberish. Like
I was tempted to join with a mod where you can scream, but I didn't. I wasn't sure if that was okay.
So do you are there any mods that you like? Oh, this much I use most of the time, or a lot?
In Deep Rock, there's a satchel mod that shows you the exact radius it's gonna explode in. It already kind of does that with like a particle effect, but I just have like a sphere model that's perpetual and obvious.
Don't have any mods installed right now. Actually, it was quite a while since I played. I don't know if I should admit this, but I did play for like the past 2 evenings just to not embarrass myself totally today.
Yeah, me too.
Just to remember, like, oh right, the grappling hook is on 3, things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember actually what mods I used to use, but I love mods where you can, like, I remember playing Left 4 Dead 2, where there were these like mods that added extended voice lines and things, so you could just, I mean, in the game natively you can say things like, you know, thanks and stuff like that, but the mods would just add, you know, screams, like every sound in the game, and you could trigger it like indefinitely. Yeah, when I was playing the other night, I was playing like this game. I was playing with someone who had like a similar mod. They were just spamming it, like fart sounds and scream sound, and I was just laughing my ass.
It's great. I remember playing Left 4 Dead and just spamming the screaming voice lines.
Yeah.
It feels like a very old school kind of thing. I remember playing Chivalry back in the day. And
Oh yeah.
like everyone was just spamming voice lines all the time. It was great.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's the game that has like the help sound that sounds so pathetic, where he just goes like help. And you just run around and spam that. I feel like you can use that to like psych people out even, and like win fight.
No, it was great.
Oh, we got raided by Plosky with a party of 20 over on Twitch. Hey everyone.
Have we all just forgotten what the objective is on this match?
Yeah,
I think
because
so.
100%.
I'm reminded every like 5 minutes, and then I forget it again.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. This being the newest objective is the one I have to actually turn on my brain to remember.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, to go down.
Oh yeah, you need the sound for this one as well. But we have a driller. It's his job, and he's the
Yep.
highest level. So.
Well, I just got one of them.
Nice.
Just 4 more to go. I also put a resupply down here, kind of selfishly.
So did you play Felix and Oscar? Did you play Deep Rock together before, or is this the first time you're joining up to play Deep Rock?
The first, actually.
First time, yeah.
Yeah.
We did play Valheim together like a crazy amount when we
That's
played
right.
during company. Like we have play sessions at the company.
Indeed.
We played Valheim for a bit, and like everyone else kind of played for the sessions, and
Yeah,
like
but-
on time, and then me and Oscar just played a ton off time.
Exactly. Like we would just incidentally find each other on the server and help each other out with the building
Yeah.
and fighting stuff. It was great.
Oh, cool. Do you have a Pugstorm server?
Yeah,
Um,
we used to have.
yeah.
We spent
Yeah.
a lot of time building a bunch of stuff on.
Yeah, I think I said that in the last stream as well. We have a Ghost Ship server. It's dormant right now, but we played. We had a good couple of evenings playing together. It's sort of fun to play some of those big games. Like Core Keeper is also 8 players, and I think Valheim goes up to 10.
Yep.
If you don't install the mods. Are there any other like co-op games that you would play together in the company?
For sure, there are plenty I would like to try, but I guess it depends on the kind of genres people are into. Valheim work well. Right now, I actually have to check what more could be a good choice.
We play as we've gotten like grown. It's a little bit harder to play games like those games because we're usually more people in the session. So we often play like Arctic Phone and things like that. I'm pretty bad at joining those, but more like the type of social games where it could be a lot of people.
Yeah, and you were
Oh,
a
no.
bit distributed in terms of your studio, right? I mean, there was a bunch of you in Linköping, but there were also other people in other countries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where I think I think we call it like remote first, kind of. It's not remote only, but it's definitely like a lot of remote work. Actually, I'm moving on Monday to Linköping, but right now I'm in Stockholm and I work 100% remotely.
Oh, cool. It's still a bit away from Stockholm, Linköping, right? What's like 2-3 hours?
Yeah,
By
something
car?
like that.
Yeah, 2 hours. Or actually, it might be 3.
Cave leech.
Oh, what? Oh, I didn't look again. I'm rusty. Yeah, it's like 2 hours, something like that. So it's like close enough for if there's cake at the office, and then far enough that I don't go there every day.
That's still a pretty long commute with for people in living in Stockholm and commuting to Linköping. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
If there's
I
cake, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many roughly are you in Linköping?
That's a good question. I never thought about that. I
Oh,
think
big-
we are.
I guess if you're remote first, like you say, it's probably more distributed.
Yeah, but we are actually a lot of people in Linköping and Norrköping, which is very close. So I'd say, I don't know, maybe half of us or something like that, maybe more. So like 15 people, something.
Oh, cool.
I might be way off, but I think so.
That's
I'm
certainly
still surprised at how many we are now.
indeed. Like when we started out, it was mainly Norrköping and Linköping, and as we branched out, we have, of course, gotten people from all around the world. But roughly half would probably be, like, it feels accurate, but I actually have to count myself.
Marco Despotov over on YouTube asking, is this modded? No, it's you don't have any mods installed, Jacob.
Nope.
You're the host, right?
Actually, I had to, but because I still had the more players mod installed, so I just had to get out of the sandbox and remove it.
It's usually a fight getting out of the sandbox during
Yeah.
working hours.
I have 2 kids. I'm never out of sandbox. Oh, the enemies.
You get to make sandcastles.
Yeah. Way too many sandcastles.
Yeah. Man, but at least they learn something about architecture and design and
Yeah,
everything.
that's true.
Yeah.
And also the futility of building something and
It will
just get torn down.
Yeah, I mean the crazy thing is like sand, like from when I was a kid, has just like gone through a lot of technological advances. I think, like the kinetic sand thing,
Yeah.
which is
Do you also you also teach your kids about like creative destruction, or like the disappointment of creativity?
No, they teach me. I built something for
Okay.
them, and then they just find it fun to destroy it.
Yeah. What were you saying about kinetic sand, by the way? Sorry.
The kinetic sand, it didn't have that when I was a kid. So like sand that you can just like mush together and then it keeps the shape. That's amazing.
This is usually the point where Aaron would jump in and do his Abe Simpson voice whenever we
Yeah.
talk about whatever we had and didn't have as a kid. Yeah.
We should just record it and have it like on a
Yeah.
soundboard.
Back in my day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in my
day. We didn't have sand here, no, none of that kinetic stuff. So Aaron is, you unfortunately didn't get to meet Aaron. He was very busy this week. He usually joins these streams and make funny voices. And yeah, and that was in his contract, I think. I don't fully remember if we put it there.
I think we need to read those contracts.
Yeah.
How many funny voices did he need to bring?
I don't remember, but I think he met quota last year.
Occupation voice bringer.
Met quota the first week he was here.
Has
No,
anyone
that was on amount of words. That
Alright.
was-
Do
Has
we have a
anyone
funny
found
voice
the last
guy? Oscar?
crystal?
I mean, depends. We don't really. Like, if we do, they haven't revealed themselves too much. Like,
that's
I
a good
mean,
point.
I mean, I happen to like doing funny voices, but like, I don't really have reasons to do it.
Are you gonna
Could be
say
you.
that without giving us a sample?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good one. Oh no.
Suspense is killing me.
Yeah. I thought that was it.
Maybe.
Very funny.
Maybe.
That's
I like the
my
twists.
real voice is the funny one. That's a joke.
Oh, sorry about that. Awkward.
Nah. Nah, but I don't know. When playing like tabletop role-playing games and stuff, you get used to like putting on some funny voices. Not that you have to, but it helps to distinguish characters a bit.
Do you play any? Do you play tabletop role playing? What? Blah, blah, blah. Do you play Dungeons and Dragons and
A
similar?
lot.
Okay.
Not specifically Dungeons and Dragons, but the other like RPG systems. I'm a big fan of.
Yeah. So I used to play a tabletop role playing game that was a Swedish one called Mutant. It was
Oh.
the one that was sort of the basis for Mutant Year Zero. What was it called? There was a video game about it. Have you ever played that
Wasn't
one?
that? Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh,
That was Mutant Year Zero, right?
yeah, that was Mutant Road to Eden. I think
Yeah,
it was
Road
called.
to Eden, yeah.
So which RPGs have you played?
Let me see. Fragged Empire, or specifically Fragged Eternum. It's kind of like similar to Dark Souls or Bloodborne in the way that you're intended to die a lot and respawn. The catch being that the more you die, the more corrupt your character gets, and it gets kind of interesting to expand upon as you play. Another one is Eon, a Swedish-made RPG that's extremely simulatory. You keep track of your bleeding rate, your trauma, and your like pain threshold to see if you're faint, and just a bunch of stats that would never be necessary in most RPGs. But it's very fun to see things just like. For example, we were gonna fight like a huge like worm monster, but because the game allows for a random chance to ruin everything and exponentially just make things take infinite damage if they roll bad enough. Because that could technically happen in real life. It slipped and fell into an abyss, and we didn't have to fight it. It was extremely anticlimactic from the game master's perspective, I'm sure, but as a player, that was hilarious.
It sounds like how we ended the Core Keeper stream last time.
Oh yeah,
that guy just disappeared. That final
Pretty
boss
much.
that
Yeah,
we wanted to
it's a
take down.
win. It's a win.
oh yeah, true.
Wait.
It's
Which boss?
You and no.
Malagas. He teleported away when everyone dies around him.
Ah.
Though a
Or
bit
when
more
he's
sour in
scared
the
enough.
Goalkeeper one. Yeah, yeah, that exactly. Sorry.
Have we missed building one of these things?
We have the pipeline to the extractor pod here, I think, but I'm not. Just need to.
Oh, okay.
Something come in somewhere. We need to connect, or is it?
I don't know. But who was it of you that said you played some RPGs?
Oh, that was me.
Right.
I think we all played RPGs, but specifically I ran a Mutant campaign.
Right.
there.
In one of my old workplaces.
Nice.
That was super fun. Yeah, we played. We played during lunch breaks. so I had to really tailor the sessions to like usually had somewhere between like 30 to 60 minutes. It was also open to anybody in the office that wanted to join, and sometimes people had to drop out because of something would happen and they couldn't join that launch. So I had to be really creative as like game master to make sure that a session was still like meaningful within like 30 and 60 minutes, and also that it could accommodate a lot of players.
Right.
So and had players dropping in and dropping out. Usually a player that it started by one of the players just having insomnia. So if he was not there during one of the sessions, the other people just had to carry him around, and it became a lot more about like how people reacted to the situation and less about like playing the role-playing game as a video game and just trying to beat everything.
Right.
I think we ended up playing 10. There were like 10 players in the whole campaign besides me, so we ended up splitting it up to 2 separate campaigns at one point within the story, and they would like go and do their separate thing, and then organically they ended up coming back to together for the finale. So it was like a big 10-player finale at the end of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like RPGs like that best when it's more about like how you react to things, like you say. Because like mechanical things is also satisfying, but that's what video games excel at, in my opinion.
Yeah. And one thing I really liked about this mutant setting is that it's post-apocalypse with mutants and anthropomorphic animals and robots and stuff like that, but it's essentially in Sweden. So you have these summer house areas and maybe an IKEA somewhere. And it's like the whole concept of post-apocalyptic Sweden was just very, very funny to explore.
I'll have to check that out now that you. That sounds funny.
That's a very tight cave with an oppressor in it.
It is.
I was trying to manually dig to that thing you're at now.
Thank you.
Tom over on YouTube holding down the fort, answering a bunch of questions while we're busy talking about role-playing games and not getting grabbed by different things in the game. Thanks, Tom. Rock and stone to you.
It's good that we have some people here who can carry us again, Jacob.
Someone who knows the game.
This
You're gonna
really
jinx
feels
me.
like the good old days.
Oh,
Finally.
yeah.
I'm just in this cave being oppressed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I may have screwed a whole run.
I got Iron Will and stuff.
It's just
Nice.
fine.
Very good.
Nothing could go wrong here.
This is just more exciting to get the cheap
True.
perks out of the way.
Yeah. I just committed the sin of drillers satcheling scouts.
That has never happened to me before.
Yes, it never happened. This did not happen.
Actually happened last night when I was playing, and I was on a modded server that had like all the objectives in a single map. We did them all, and I was so hyped to get into the pod, and then the driller just blew us all up, and we didn't.
Oh, wow.
Classic, you know.
Yeah. It's his job.
Scums over on Twitch saying Generation Zero had a very nice post-apocalyptic Swedish landscape too. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, they got it was a whole thing about like that, and it's sort of in parallel with Simon Stålhag.
Right, yeah.
Or what's it called? Yes, his art style, and all the images he did. The whole I think the whole concept of Sweden is a fun setting visually, because I think there was also another one of those RPGs from, I think it was a Swedish publisher as well that currently do the Mutant role-playing games. I think it was called Amazon made a TV series of it.
Oh yeah, the Tales from the Void or Tales from the Loop.
From the Void. Yeah, Tales from the Loop. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Right. But that was actually Simon Stålhag, right?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
that was his
I think
concept.
Generation Zero had some controversy around that. They had talked with him and like used the concept, but never really worked with him about it?
Yeah.
I've no idea. I just remember the Tales from the Loop
Yeah.
RPG using, I think I think he collaborated with
Yeah.
on that one. I'm not entirely sure.
That's I think that's
Yeah.
his IP.
Yeah. That being said, like Generation Zero, I think the whole story about it is that is Sweden is invaded. I'm not entirely sure.
There's another Swedish apocalypse game that's like
third
it was
one?
like yeah. It's like an old one now. I don't remember it exactly, but it was kind of like you controlled a few heroes and you went through maps, and it was kind of like a post-nuclear apocalypse Sweden. I think it was called Crater or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I've seen posters of that game.
Wasn't that that wasn't Fat Shark, was it?
I don't remember.
No clue. Wait, Fat Shark, the ones who made Vermintide?
Yeah.
Is it Crater with K?
Yeah. I think
Yes.
so.
Ah, I see. Let me check.
And it had this very like Borderlands
It is.
psycho.
Yeah, it is Fat
It
Shark.
is
Yeah,
Fat
yeah.
Shark.
That was
Yeah.
just before Vermintide, I think.
This is like 2012 on Steam.
I think I actually reviewed that for a magazine.
Ah, cool.
There's still
Ah,
a supply at the
I've-
supply pod. if you
Oh,
want.
I can take one, I guess.
This is like the Baldur's Gate of Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if
something
that's
I thought I would never
like a compliment or something.
You must gather your party before going forth. I can't do a Swedish accent in English anymore. It's only in Danish.
Just talk like you have no idea how to pronounce a single syllable.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
no,
talk
yeah,
like you work for the government, and then you sound like this.
we talked about that. It's you have the inflection every time you talk. It's like you're asking a question, but you're really not. Yeah.
It's bouncy, as some people put it.
Yeah. Because every time my wife is Swedish, and every time I speak Swedish, she says you sound like a Finnish person in Sweden.
What?
Oh really?
Nay. In the sound.
I know that a lot of Swedes also think that Norwegian sounds more bouncy than Swedish, comparably. Like
Yeah.
like it sounds like they end every syllable with like upward, like a question. Whereas Norwegians find Swedes to sound like they're like a drunk Norwegian because their tones are wrong.
But Norwegians also sound like, because it sounds so old, like the words they use, or it sound like old Swedish words. So when it's like a Norwegian rapper or something, and he tries to sound, like macho or threatening or something, like, oh, it's a cute little boy, and he's talking to his friends.
I guess it's the step further from like how we feel like English names stuff sound cool, but if you translate them to Swedish, or I suppose any native language, they sound less cool. And maybe that's even further in Norwegian because they have less loan words.
That happened to me when playing Bloodborne, because because it followed the translation, the localization was what I'd put my PlayStation 4 to be, and my son had been playing Danish games, so we set it to Danish, and then suddenly Bloodborne was just in Danish, and it all sounded like all the very cool church and clerical words just sounded
they
like
dub
school.
that?
No, they
Nice.
didn't dub it. It was just like like
They translated the names and everything.
yeah,
Oh,
like
right.
Amelia the Vicar suddenly just sounded very un-Danish. Sorry to everybody on stream for this detour about Scandinavian languages. I know we all sound similar.
This
to
is
all
now an
languages.
educational stream about Scandinavian culture.
This matters a lot to us.
Yes, we have to feel unique.
Oh, before we leave that point, I have to mention that. Did you know that the first Diablo game is localized in Swedish for the PlayStation 1, like dubbed?
What?
Yeah, it's insane. It's the
surprise me
coolest thing ever. It's like the voice actors they got are like theatrical actors, I think. So they're actually like really good, and they play play off the dark fantasy setting very well. But it's so weird to hear like a guy with like a Gothenburgian accent.
I
you
want to
know?
hear the stay a while, then listen.
Yeah, it's the funniest
Stay a
thing
while
ever.
and listen.
Stay a while, then listen.
The butcher
There you
says
go.
like, färskt kött.
Fresh meat.
Oh, nice. It sounds a bit polite. I gotta say.
Yeah. It's the best thing ever.
Fat Maniac over on YouTube going, can we ask questions about the game here? You absolutely can. Sorry if you you asked them and we didn't see that. Tom has been hard at work filling in for us. We've been having interesting conversations because not every time we get to stream with people as experienced in Deep Rock Galactic as the awesome people at Pugstorm, Oscar and Felix.
It's good to finally get some expertise on the stream.
We're giving expertise to the developers who would have.
We should be
the
asking
source
you
of
about the
expertise.
game, actually.
Fat Maniac. Sorry, go ahead.
I think one of my favorite Swedish injections into video game culture is like the language they made for Magicka.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can kind of hear what they're saying, but it's still like completely messed up. It's really good.
I think they mixed in like a bunch of different languages.
Yeah.
Like they speak English and they just mix in like a mangled Swedish word or every now and then, or like a Spanish or Italian or.
Yeah.
A long
that's
lost,
so good.
incomprehensible language mixed in with demonic and eldritch tongues. Hey there. Hey there.
Like that. Secret the password is banana or something like that.
Banana? I remember.
He threatened to be wholesomely.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of people from Sweden working at Go Ship
Awesome.
because we're so close to Malmö.
Yeah, makes sense.
And a lot of people from TGA usually intern here. Fat Maniac over on YouTube asking, I just wanted to ask, are there any plans to add any feature so we could take Steve with us on the rig? Every time I leave him behind, my heart hurt, and after we shouldn't leave anyone behind. I think it's specifically leave no dwarf behind. Unfortunately, Steve doesn't get to go on the space rig. That is, that's not a, I think that's come up over the years. That's, at this point, I feel like it's a decree by management.
Could we get maybe like the honorary dwarf season? Where Steve has his own progression line and
Add a new class, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know, but we've over the past couple of years we've also become a publisher. So you know, I'm not saying that we're doing a Steve spin-off game, but I'm also not saying we're not.
Now people are hyped, and then it's gonna be like a match 3 game or something.
I just made my life very difficult as head of publishing here at Go Ship.
Well, you did look like you were a little bored this morning, so maybe like just add some excitement.
You can squash any worries. Like, say the game will be boring, and then when it's not, people will be pleasantly surprised, and then they will be like, "Go play this; it's way better."
I mean, like we of course try to not overpromise, like underpromise, overdeliver is a generally good tactic. But as from a publishing perspective, saying your game is boring is generally not a good marketing strategy.
Yeah,
but it's very rare marketing strategy.
I think
no one ever tried
Devolver could pull it off.
Turns out it's the best strategy. Just no one dared to try it. Was there a reason you is there a reason the bugs are named Steve and the legendary dwarf is named Carl and so on?
I think Steve was just an idea that it was just a name that popped up in our lead game designer's head one day, and then that's what we went with.
Nice.
It is a perfect name.
Yeah.
I think we discussed it earlier at some point, like if there are more Steves on the level, they should just have an extra E each time.
Yeah.
Never got added though.
Stevie. Yeah, because I was the only reference to like a Steve pet I know is from what's that animation movie called? It's Raining Meatballs, or what's it called?
Yes, the monkey.
Yeah, Steve. And that's Neil Patrick Harris that voices him. It's Neil Patrick Harris that voiced Steve, I think. And the weird thing was that we were streaming with Casper Van Dien a couple of weeks ago, the guy who plays Johnny Rico in Starship Troopers. And he was playing Deep Rock with us. And the founders who started Go Ship and made Deep Rock Galactic initially are huge fans of Starship Troopers. And there's a lot of like Starship Troopers inspiration in the game and all of that. And we were telling him about the legend of Carl, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm best friends with Carl." And I go, "What?" Yeah, because Neil Patrick Harris's character in Starship Troopers is also called Carl.
Ah,
So the two things that Steve and Carl have in common is Neil Patrick Harris played both.
Now you know who to get for your Steve game.
yeah.
Negotiations are still going on. Shh! Don't give him leverage.
This ghost detonator still is very scary to me. It
also,
doesn't matter how many times I
We
face
actually
it.
get a lot of angry mail about it, like there's an enemy that you can't kill, and that we should fix that.
Ah, yeah. And you go, that's why we shouldn't fix it.
Yeah.
The ghost can't be killed. What is this?
So Pepper Ice Cream going, it's cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Yeah, that's the one. And going, wait, Neil Patrick Harris was in Starship Troopers. How old is he? He looks exactly the same as he does now. Yeah.
Yeah, he has like two looks, like the Doogie Howser thing, and then Barney from How I Met Your Mother, and that's kind of
That's it. This was more Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
yeah.
Yeah.
Danger! Don't get too close.
Andre J over on YouTube going, Rogue Steve, a tower defense game.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know what a Steve game could be. I feel like it's like Stray, but it's Steve. You know where you play a cat that sort of is trying to get yeah.
I see it.
Oh, I've got a pitch here.
It could be like one of those games where you know there's like these shark games where you just eat and you get bigger and bigger and
Oh
bigger.
yeah.
So okay, you have a pitch. Okay. Remember, I'm head of publishing here at Ghost Ship Publishing. So let's
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, I haven't had a lot of time to work on the design document, so you'll have to forgive me for it. It's a little bit rough around the edges.
That's completely
Yeah,
on brand for us. That's fine.
that never works.
Okay, so right, you play as Steve, and the backstory
Ooh,
is
I like it.
you just finished, or well, the people, or the dwarves, I mean, who converted you, they just finished their dive, and they're on their way up, and you're like, but I want to join. So now your mission is you got to get on that space rig, and it's your journey to reunite with your.
So it's
Dwarven
like one of
friends.
those dog movies where they leave the dog behind and he has to find the way back to
Yeah,
his
exactly.
Home
family.
Alone.
It is Stray.
Can we get Macaulay Culkin?
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I'm sorry. I like the concept, which was pretty much Stray with Steve, but Jacob's pitch here with this Steam Home Alone on the space
Yeah,
rig.
no, I'm
we're
sold.
gonna-
Forget my pitch.
Where he's putting traps out for the people trying to come and.
And it's not in universe at all. It's just like a house in suburban America, but it's Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve tried to put in traps for the wet. What they call the wet bandits?
Yep.
Got another wave here.
I need to set the exploder sound to my like alarm clock.
And we're the grabber.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a good idea. Acids or like the toxic waste sticks to the ghost. Explain.
I
Video
think
games.
I think you can also
Freeze it.
yeah, you can freeze him. Not for very
Oh.
long, but
I never tried.
All completely intentional, of course.
Yeah.
You're on program it that way.
It's a feature.
oh, there's a regular bulk too. Nice.
Maybe we should kill the Dreadnought before the waves become too crazy.
All right, that's a Dreadnought too. Yeah, it's
You want to kill the Dreadnought? Okay.
Let's go.
not like that.
But you said.
Ah, that found the ghost.
Oh, there's another detonator.
Yep.
Oh, and now there's
poorly
two
one.
bosses as well.
Now we just need to get them all to meet at the mining rig and then blow them all up.
My loadout is not good for fighting, I'll say that now.
How are you guys doing?
I'm alive.
Just take a
scared.
little nap here.
Yeah.
I'll rudely wake you up. Never mind.
Oh my
it's
God.
You have a friend.
Got work to do.
The usual suspects are down.
Get the detonator. Oh, it killed one of them. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Totally planned.
That's the first time I've ever done that. That is awesome.
God, I'm glad you joined the stream, Johan. I would not have lasted 5 seconds.
Alex sitting next to me just sweating.
Sir Pounce is here. Hello there. Also, Narek over on YouTube going, another game idea, the Los Glyphids. I feel like the gang that's roaming Hoxies, the Los Glyphids.
Oh, and they have like small knives that they threaten you with.
Jail via on YouTube with a suggestion: blow up detonator on Dreadnought.
We did.
That's
Success.
yeah.
Exists.
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't think I saw any of the Dreadnoughts. I was just here for the ride.
No. And just the Lena over on Twitch is going, Season 6? Question mark. No, this is not Season 6, but I guess you're asking about the state of Season 6, and it's the same as we've said the past couple of streams, is that we're currently deciding on what to do with in terms of Season 6 once we are closer to where we want to be with Rogue Core.
It's all Rouge Core from here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so hyped for Rogue Core.
Yeah.
Same.
So, yeah, it's gonna be good.
When I was a
And
kid,
that's-
sorry, go on.
No, and that's all the announcements that we have for this stream. No. What did you say? When you were a kid?
Yeah, when I were a kid, I used to misspell Rogue as Rouge. So if you name it that, I would not mind.
I think everyone does that.
Yeah. That, I mean, we have Rogue Core and Spell Rogue and a bunch of roguelikes and, store copy and graphics and the cake we bought when Spell Rogue went into early access was also misspelled. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a human touch.
Yeah.
So any of you two are working on the new project you're doing, or are you Core Keeper only?
I'm working on Core Keeper, but yeah, Felix, you're working on some other projects as well, right?
Yeah, the Cura project.
That looks really good.
I'm working
okay.
on the rendering there, and I'm also the associate game director.
Oh, interesting. So there's gonna be gameplay and rendering.
We haven't said
Together.
anything.
It's unannounced. Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. No, it looks super cool. I love that. I love for the trailer you did for the VGA that you had. Is it your character names? Is it just the team that's jumping around in that trailer?
Yeah, we did. I'm not sure how we came up with those names actually. I think we had some kind of just like some kind of idea phase, and then we just went with a bunch of names.
Yeah, because it's one shot that like slowly goes down, so you see like top world and all of that. And I think it's the same for us when we do trailers. That it's just us filming, so our Steam tags sometimes show up in the trailers.
I think for some reason we didn't think of using our own names. I don't know why. We should have. We kind of invented a bunch of names.
Maybe because of GDPR. That's also a thing, right?
Yeah, fair. It's 100% the reason. But yeah, super stoked for that. It's a lot of fun to work on.
It's been very fun to see the evolution it has gone through. because like it looks very interesting now to see, like compared to when it started. It was a lot of the like design decisions that have evolved a lot, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of things have happened
Yep.
and are happening still.
Things happen.
Things do happen. Puraguma-san over on Twitch going, Rogue Core's hype is over the top. Well, thanks.
I'm
And-
excited for damage numbers in Rogue Core. I think we've shown that already.
There's a mod for that in Deep Rock, right?
Yeah,
Damn it.
but
Johan's not excited for the mod.
no, I'm not excited for the mod because I didn't make the mod, but I made the damage numbers.
Somebody's heart just broke somewhere.
Coming, Johan! Not coming, Johan. Wait, okay, the drop out is coming over there. Oh, that's up high.
Oh,
What? No, 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 no. No, 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 okay.
oh, that looks so cool with the pot up there. Oh my god.
I feel like the atmosphere in the game is like looks really like expensive when there's like so much to see in the background. Because up close it's like a stylized polygons, which is also very like fun to look at. But when it comes together in these scenes, like they still make like cinematic looking like horizons sometimes.
Yeah, I mean the lighting and the art direction, everything is just insane in this game. I think
It's great.
I love it. And I love how it's like the file size of the game is so small because there's not a thousand textures, you know.
No, I don't think there's. We actually don't really use textures. No,
No, I
that
think
much.
we have a few of them, but it's
Yeah.
like icons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the game size at this point is like voice lines,
Mm.
like all the the voice recordings.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think we have over 3,000 lines for the dwarf, and it's and we pitch them up in engine, right, Johan?
Yeah, we pitch
Yeah.
them around.
Yeah, so we don't have four. Like it's one voice line, and then we pitch it up and down depending on the dwarf. Yeah, they're all made. You probably know, but they're all the dwarves are voiced by the same guy, Javier.
Yep.
Yeah.
It took me a
And,
while to realize.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny that people don't notice it. Like it's, it feels like something, at least to me, that's like kind of obvious. I mean, having worked on the game, but it's like, oh, you didn't notice? Cool,
Mm.
it worked.
Yep.
Yeah, the voice acting. It's one of those things I think that is like, you kind of take it for granted after a while after you play the game, but it is so spot on. It adds so much to the game, just everywhere.
And it's something that we talked a lot about, like how we use voice and world building and all of that stuff in the game. In that, especially the voices fill in a lot for the role of you talking to the other players, because the dwarves react so much in the game, and a mission control is sort of telling the story of the mission, of what's going on and what's happening. And I think I think the game at this point is well over 100,000 words, not counting the patch notes that we show in the beginning of the game, which are about 60 or 70,000 words. So it's for a game that doesn't have like a storyline. That's quite a lot.
And we're still fixing spelling mistakes to this day.
Yeah. Not all of those lines were written by native speakers.
That adds to the charm.
Yeah.
Oh, we won, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job.
We did
Nice.
it.
Yeah. We did it within like an hour.
I got a weapon.
Even though
skill,
we
so that's-
were fumbling on the second stage quite.
Indeed. To pull through.
I felt like that second stage took the majority of the deep run, like total time.
Yeah, looking for those crystals took probably a bit longer than it should have.
But you did it.
We did.
You
Yeah.
did. I mean, we forgot to celebrate that. Elite deep dive completed.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't get to join. No.
No.
What, you didn't even have a beer?
No, it was dark morkite. We'll have 2 beers after this one.
More like dork. More
Just realized I hadn't done the anniversary assignment and I need that hat.
Oh, you're celebrating with an assignment completion.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a way to celebrate. Management approves.
When you're adding like a mini bar, you can bring with you.
A mini bar.
Yeah,
Like
a deployable.
Oh yeah.
like just have beers in Mali.
Yeah,
Our
exactly.
game director
Sure.
is very set on fun only being outside of the missions.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why we also don't have like emotes and dancing and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of like also our work policy here at the Ghost Ship. So, yeah.
So no fun during office hours.
Yeah.
No,
So
this
what
is technically
Yeah, we can
office
twerk in
hours
the
though.
canteen, but not at our desks.
So what you're saying is you could add it if it added like if you drank it, you got a 1 extra damage, because then it's technically gameplay.
I mean, yeah.
True. I see. Yeah, maybe we could be sneaky like that.
I feel like a beer to go is a reasonable request in the game and in, you know.
They already pour some medical thing when they like help each other get up when they're knocked down.
That is true.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't
that
have it
makes-
to be alcohol, would it?
I think it's just grape juice.
Fair.
Or-
I'm thinking schnapps or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the like those Saint Bernard's dogs with like a cognac barrel.
Yeah,
so,
that's always what I thought about when I saw that.
So it's either schnapps or grape juice. Choose wisely.
Or it's grape flavored schnapps.
Grang
So
over
we
on
need a-
YouTube asking, hello, I was wondering if there were any changes to the current GSG publishing roadmap. Is there an alpha of ROCK still happening in Q1? We're still planning to have a closed alpha, but it's looking very unlikely that it will be in Q1 at this point. Stay tuned for more news soon. But yeah, we should update that publishing roadmap. Thanks for reminding us. I will get right on that. Also, Lux over 9,000 going. Countless people have told you that, but I like this game. Synced 700 hours into it. Well, thanks. Awesome. Great to hear. That brings you, you know, close to some of the people here on stream. Not all of them, though. Some seem to have played a little more than 700 hours. But, you know, that's still a very impressive feat.
It's just.
Yeah.
It's just work,
So-
like the dwarf would say.
Sir Pounds over in Twitch entering to the ROCK closed alpha thing going, well, good thing it's Q2 on the roadmap already. Ooh, did I change that and forget? Ooh, thanks. I think I already changed that somewhere else.
So how many hours do you guys actually have in the game? Like in Deep Rock?
Over 1,000 for sure. But I have to check exactly.
I think 200 something.
Lions on YouTube, sorry, hitting 1,350 hours. What do you say, Felix? Over 200?
Yeah, something like that. And I felt like, compared to other games I played, I felt like, oh, that's kind of a lot. And then Oscar joined. I was like, okay, I should just shut up.
There was a period where I played this game like exclusively, so that's the bulk of it. 1,300 hours.
Was it the pandemic?
Probably, yeah, around that time.
I think that happened for a lot of people that they were looking for games where they could hang out with other people and friends in.
Indeed.
I know it
I
happened to
think-
Aaron.
A big draw for me in this game in particular was how easy it was to like either just play with friends or even just team up with randoms, and like how it was very like a friendly vibe to just to play with anyone. Like even if you underperformed. It was more like a rock and stone moment where you could make a joke out of it, more than people who were demoralized by however it went.
Yeah,
It's like a
I
nice
love that about them.
thing.
Yeah, I think it's one of the. It's an extremely healthy community. At least when I played, it was amazing.
Yeah, same. I don't think I've ever played a game where like I almost only play with like randoms, and it's 99% a positive experience. It's so extremely rare that someone complains or something like that. And I feel like the game is so good at like softly guiding you towards that very helpful gameplay style. Like there's no way to complain or things like that. There are no voice lines like that, or all the mechanics and everything's built around. It feels like it's built around like positivity.
Yeah.
It's so great. Sorry for gushing.
No, and it isn't built around like everybody working together, and everybody sort of being able to fill a role in the game, and also like being able to play with randoms is a very big part of how Deep Rock has evolved over the years. People are joining in on in chat to the game time discussion. Wiggerson having just played over 1,200 hours in GRG. That's super impressive. Yeah. Tom having played 788 hours. The second most played game for him. I'm assuming the most played game is YouTube. No, he says that it's Rocket League. So further down.
Have they added YouTube to Steam yet?
I mean, it has a browser, so.
Frail Snail having played over 1,100 hours. Kaisen at 109. That's still a lot. I mean, you forget how much 100 hours actually is for any game.
Indeed.
Yeah. Alex, they mad over on Twitch having played is 4 hours from his 1,000th anniversary. Hang in there, Rock and Stone, when you hit that. And Sir Pounds closing in on 2,200 hours.
Oh wow.
That's impressive.
That's a graybeard.
I think I have 2,500, but I also gotten paid to play it, so I mean, I feel like that doesn't count. Some of it is also like in the dev version, so it's not really.
Yeah, that reminds me. The same with Core Keeper. I get people asking like, why do you have like thousands of hours in Core Keeper? I mean, some people I haven't even told at that point that there was a pretty good reason for it.
Yeah, with Unity games as well, it's funny because it's like when you start the editor, if you run the game in the editor and connect to Steamworks, it logs you in and like starts tracking your time, and it doesn't stop doing that until you exit the editor, not like shut down the game.
Oh wow!
So that makes your hours rack up real fast because you leave your editor on like for weeks.
Exactly.
I don't think Unreal does that. So the editor hours don't count for, at least for me.
Okay. No.
I see that as an opportunity to be, the meme guy on Steam who has like 6,000 hours in Core Keeper, and you post a review that says like it's okay.
Yep.
My opinion may be biased.
Don't mind my developer tag.
I think there was another game I just by accident had it on in the background when like the computer was on during the night, which is not recommended, but that's how it was. And I got to like top 8 of that game, and the review was just meh. I got tired of it very quickly.
Stenda boys over on YouTube asking, back to my question, when do we get proper shorts? I'm not sure if you mean like the ones on YouTube. Those are pretty good. Marcus put a lot of effort into it. I think they're more than proper. They a lot of people love them. Or are you talking about shorts in the game, like boxer shorts?
Pants.
Oh, pants.
Yeah, maybe pants. Maybe it's pants.
Yeah,
there are shorts in the game already, right?
Yeah. There are boxer shorts when you die and have to wear the medical gown. There's also a bathing shorts mod that it's not the season for it, but one summer rolls around, there's a mod where you can put on a bathing suit and go down and get some I don't. There's no sun in the caves.
Get a tan, yeah.
But
It has
rains,
diverse
I
temperature
guess.
at least.
Yeah.
And sit in the
Go to Magma
engine
Core.
of the dropship.
Yeah, summer vacation in the magma core.
Grang over on YouTube asking, the closed alpha you mentioned is gonna be the same as Steam playtest requests, similar of how DRG Survivor had it. I think that's currently the plan. We haven't fully settled on how we're gonna. Well, I think that is currently the plan, but we're looking to see if that's how we're gonna set up playtest invites. And you're referring to like there'll be on the Steam store page. You can enable like a playtest sign up button, so in Steam you can opt in and go like I would like access to the playtest, and then people are usually let in gradually to the playtest over a period of time.
Those little bomblets that the detonators shoot out, they always get me.
They go even further with low gravity.
Yeah. I was like, surely I'm out of range now. Nuh-uh.
They're homing, right?
They're not, but it seems like it.
Really ready to go on Twitch, going bask in the glow of radiation to get a 10 line. That's wouldn't recommend that.
This objective makes me realize how all games in the world need more pipes.
Yeah, there are not a lot of games where you build pipes.
You have you've train tracks like Minecraft style in. I remember that when we played on Tuesday in Core Keep.
And
Yep.
cars.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cars as well.
But no pipes.
No railing.
We missed the memo
No
on
way
that one.
to no way to automate the resource extraction from underground.
There are stationary drills that, and you can craft like elaborate crane systems that transfer things, if I recall.
Yeah,
Also-
what's it called again? The thing you put on the ground. Like
Right.
rullband in Swedish. What's that in English? I forget.
A rolling
What?
band, whatever that is.
Conveyor belt.
Conveyor
Oh,
belt.
yeah, there you go.
A rolling band, a roller band.
Roll-
I wish we would just call it that.
Rullband.
It sounds, yeah.
It sounds like it sounds like one of those scooters you you drive on. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it just doesn't sound very industrial.
It's more sincere.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, I find it interesting how different languages name different apparatuses. Like vacuum cleaner in German and Swedish would just be dust sucker. Straight to the point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Danish
oh,
too,
yeah, same.
Oh,
Same,
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas I think in Turkic it's electric broom. Like,
Oh, that's adorable.
yeah.
Yeah, electric broom.
Don't quote me on that though. I just, I think that's the case.
Is that like gulebøy for banana in Norwegian, but it's not actually?
I think that one of the ones I remember the most is booger in Japanese is hanakso, which literally translates to no shit.
Oh yeah.
And Tom Jump over on YouTube going, do we have a release date on ROCK Core? Nope, not yet. Stay tuned.
That's marketing for keep in touch.
Like and subscribe, follow. We have a newsletter.
And click the bell.
We'll talk about it at some point
Yeah,
in the near future.
when we figure it out.
I've fallen, and I can get up, but I would rather not use Iron Will.
That's fair.
Thank you.
I just need to get Johan.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm not gonna. I guess it's fine now. Coast is clear.
yeah, go for it.
Boom, baby.
Yeah, so the roadmap on the Rogue Core store page still says closed alpha playtest Q2 and early access released on Steam Q4, and yeah, that's still the plan. But stay tuned.
But if you could twerk when you were on the ground, because then you can't really do much else.
I mean, you can just spam the X button.
Thank you.
Ow. Yeah. Oh.
Pipeline functional again. However, we still have malfunctions in the system.
What? Out of ammo.
Nitro's been withdrawn. The supply pod is inbound.
Oh.
Stand back. Supply pod inbound.
Do you guys have a favorite objective in Deep Rock Galactic?
A favorite objective?
Yep.
I kind of really like just the normal morkite one. I think it's really open and easy. Like it's not too complicated.
You can take it at your own speed, kind of.
Yeah, it's a bit more open-ended than the other.
Yeah, that's more
Game mode.
exploration, right?
But
I think my
yeah,
sorry.
I like escort as well. I think it's a very cool and dramatic
another ball?
game mode.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite.
I feel like morkite and point extraction they're really good palette cleansers.
Yeah, point extraction is
Like-
also one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need something
Coming.
really simple.
Oh shit, I'm in a hole.
Where
I'm in a hole.
no,
Oh, I'm in a hole.
after a refinery or or an escort mission or it's sometimes you just need something very simple that doesn't have a lot of steps to it.
Yep.
I think my favorite one is egg collection, because then you can also control when the swarms arrive because they're attached to when you fetch the eggs. Like just from it's very convenient. Though of course the other missions are cooler.
I really like Egg Hunt as well, just because of how satisfying it is to dig into the fleshy pods. There's something about that material in particular. I think that's
Squish,
that's fun.
squish.
Yeah.
What about biomes? What's your favorite biomes?
Oh, that's a good one.
Azure Weld, the purple wildlife one.
Yeah.
It just
I
looks
think,
amazing.
Hollow Bow is one of my favorite ones. Like just visually, it looks really awesome.
I forget what it's called, but the wooden one with all the.
Yeah,
That is
that's
Hollow Bow.
Bow.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one's really cool. I
Yeah,
feel like that one's
all the red
usually
lines
pretty
and
tough as well.
Weird
I don't know.
plants. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it creates some really tough missions sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's real cool, I think.
Oh yeah, it looks awesome. Like it really feels like wood.
Asia Wheel is probably my favorite one. Mostly for the visuals, pretty much.
I think I like the two of the classics. Glacial Strata has like a special place in my heart. But also,
Your cold heart.
yeah, the desert one. What's it called?
Sandblasted.
Sandblasted.
horrible.
Yeah, because of the land sharks, the trawlers are just really cool.
Very satisfying to catch them out of the ground. Like you didn't get me this time.
Andredio on YouTube going, do I remember correctly that the ETA for Rogue Core is 10 months? Currently, we're planning for Q4 this year, but we'll know when we get sooner to that.
Do we want to do something with the core stone, or is it too late for that?
I mean,
Go for it. I forget what that is. Also,
It's a
maybe after we've.
I think
The wage
I mean-
rank we are done, so I don't know.
you're the developers here, of course,
company-
but I recall that the swarms never end in this.
I think they slow down once you're full, but I'm
Okay.
actually not sure. Don't take my word for it.
I've often used the fact that they are drawn to the leaking pipes as instead of the player sometimes to do second objectives during those
that
moments, like
also
right
makes
now.
sense,
Sneaky.
Tom
yeah. I
remarking
mean,
that,
let's do it then.
Tom Orman used to be
What
remarking
was
that
wrong?
10 minutes ago I said there was no planned time for a rock horde. Yeah, I was.
I was thinking the same. It kind of like evolved,
Yeah.
but I think you went and checked the roadmap and was like, okay, it's there.
Yeah, and that's that is still the plan. Q4 this year.
Yeah, that's the thing with our streams. We're also always like everything we say, take that with like a grain of salt. Because
What
Yeah,
are these
right-
things? I've never seen these enemies. Oh my god.
Run.
I think when it comes to, I mean, right now Rokor is in that stage where we're really finding what the game is, and that means that if everything goes as planned, that's what then yeah, we expect it to be Q4 this year.
and if you haven't seen these guys before, these are like a little preview of what's going in Rokor. Oh shit, I fell down a hole.
I legit like got, you know, when you're so used to something that you feel like you know everything about it, and then something new appears and it scares the shit out of
Just
you.
get humbled.
Yeah, I legit like jumped.
Their designs are terrifying as well.
Yeah, they're very scary. Oh,
I think one of the most challenging things with keeping all these like dates, it's like the windows that we have is that because we do a lot of open development and we try to be very open with our plans, these things also change about quite a lot because we communicate like what our intentions and plans are and roughly when we think we'll be ready with different releases. But sometimes that's also a bit of a hassle to keep track of because then we forget to update a road map somewhere, or some road maps get shared around that's out of date or something like that. So it's not always easy to keep track of.
Yeah. We will forget like, hey, wait, you said this, but it's more like, what did we say last time we said something?
Yeah. Head of marketing in any other place than here probably wouldn't have as a easy way of probably wouldn't be accepted to be as a
Getting supplies. Red sugar. Rock and roll.
Tom going. You could say they change every 10 minutes. Come on.
Truth hurts, Alex.
Yeah.
Truth hurts.
Yeah. I think we really try, like when we talk about future plans and all of that stuff, I think we really try to be like, we want to be as open as possible while still also making sure that we convey that what we're doing now, there's a lot of uncertainty to it from here to the finish line.
Like that. Why do we
I think most game developers are like, I would love nothing more than to talk your ear off about my game.
Yeah.
Tell you in as much great detail as I possibly could about the game, but it's always very tricky.
Yeah.
It sort of is because you want to get like you want to convey, at least for us, like we want to be as open as we can with our plans while still also being as open of like what's not there in terms of like, yeah, these plans have a good amount of uncertainty to them, and yeah, it's going to be good when we actually get to do like a closed alpha for Rokor. So it's going to be sort of easier for us to talk and show about details much more than we are now.
Right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Right now, yeah.
Sorry.
No, go
it
ahead.
feels like a very smart strategy to make sure that the game becomes very good. I feel like, but that's me very subjectively saying that. But yeah, I do think it sounds like a very good strategy.
It's sort of difficult to know at which point do you should how much to like open up for development at which point, because right now, like if we'd showed everything we've been doing for Rocore for the past couple of months, it would be very confusing, and it would be very like things are changing around a lot in the beginning of a project and the middle of a project, and we sort of try to open up more. We try to show stuff from development at the point where it's like we feel like we know what we're doing, but we're still scared to show it.
Yeah.
Is at the point where we want to like show and get it into the hands of players.
It's a fine balance of not under divulging, but also not over promising.
The risk isn't so much that you. I mean, for us, the risk isn't really like we don't worry about like spoiling or leaking something. It's really that you end up creating a lot of noise by showing stuff that gets changed around quite rapidly. Sergeant Lewis 141 going, any leak to expect today? I think they plugged all the leaks in the pipes, as far as I can tell. And no, we're good.
Yeah.
The morkite is flowing like honey.
Mm-hmm.
Once more.
Thank you for adding the boomerang to the game, by the way.
That was fun.
Which,
In that regard, what's your favorite weapon?
The minigun is the best weapon.
The Fat Boy rocket launcher.
that is a good one.
I like the Scouts kit. I like the plasma rifle a lot, but I gotta say, like, and I love the boomerang, and the crossbow actually. But I gotta say, I think the regular minigun, just the fantasy of using that is so cool.
Right?
I'm also a big fan of the auto aim engineer weapon. I forgot the name, but
Lock one,
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that one's so cool.
Or the Loki.
all the lock on.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think all the
By
or-
many names.
yeah. And then the funniest one is probably the microwave drill weapon.
Yeah, I think
I really
those
like the-
were- a lot
Sorry,
of
go on.
those came in the first couple of seasons, like season 1 to season 3, I think.
Yeah,
Used a bunch of these.
Yeah, season 1 was primary weapons and 2
Yeah.
was secondary, or was 2 grenades and 3 was secondaries. I can't remember the order now.
The second one was secondary, as I remember.
it feels
And
like
then
the
third one
weapons
was grenade.
they became more creative over time.
Yeah.
And we ran out of the standard weapons. I had to do something more crazy.
For the better, I say.
Like, I think like with the enemies, we wanted the guns to be very different from each other.
Yeah.
So that they filled a different sort of role or play style.
I know it's also very important for the designers to not have an obvious choice when it comes to like characters and weapons and stuff like that. That all you you shouldn't feel like you want to play with a gun, but you should always pick this other gun because it's the meta or the build.
Yeah.
You actually a question for the both of you from Oscar and Felix from Interfacial86 over on YouTube. I missed Raxo's introduction. What do they do at Pugstorm and how did they get into the industry?
Right. So yeah, I'm a gameplay developer on Corekeeper, and I has been on board for quite some time. I started making games in my free time, and I entered a competition there where my game won an award, and the Pugstorm team saw it, and I talked to them since, and yeah, I guess it depends on what
you
specific.
won your job.
What was the game?
It's a very short game. It was like a school project initially, but like a vampire simulator basically. You sneak around in a top-down like 2D game, and
Did you make me right?
Yeah, that little game is called V-Rising.
that's right, V-Rising on a
Legacy
budget.
of Kain.
Yeah. The whole gimmick is that people only see what's right in front of them, so you have to like flank and the sneak, and you'll unlock some abilities that can make you like phase through walls and fly over pits as a bat and such. I wanted to include as many like vampire cliches as possible.
Cool. And what about you, Felix?
I'm the head of rendering at Pugstorm, and I also work as associate game director on the newly announced Cura project. I got into the that's a long story. I feel like at this point, I used to do Half-Life 2 modding back in, that was quite some time ago when I was like 18, and now I'm 33. I started in the industry as like a 3D modeler, worked on Battlefield 4.
Nice.
But then I hopped off like that track because I wanted to learn programming. So I went to study, and then I hopped off my studies to make games. So I never finished them. But yeah, Pugstorm doesn't seem to mind. So
School, not a requirement.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
got
actually
too
didn't
distracted
finish
at
it before
school.
I started.
It's too fun to make games.
Yeah.
Apparently.
This is a simple mining mission. Deposit your quota of morkite into the mule. We'll
That's pretty cool. And did you start out in what was the engine you started out in?
For me, it was Game Maker Studio, which
Oh.
it's for a very particular kind of game these days. Usually 2D stuff. Like a recent example I could bring up that was made in Game Maker Studio would be Pizza Tower, if you're familiar with that game. It excels at a lot, but doesn't. I don't think it's a very common one.
Yeah, it's one of those. I didn't start out with Game Maker Studios, but I remember using it a bunch back in like 2010 and 2009, I think.
That's
And
it's perfect for. Sorry, go on.
No, good. It is really like a good 2D engine for some genres that were very established at the time that didn't have a lot of systems, like platformer or a puzzle games and probably also like a Vampire Survivors like and something like
Yeah.
that.
It's great for learning programming.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are into like platform fighters, but I think there's one called Rivals of Ether that was originally made in Game Maker as well.
Yeah, I've seen
I
that
would have
one.
never guessed.
No.
Not the new one that is 3D. That's not Game Maker anymore. But
Right.
I know the first, not the Spelunky that's out now, but I know the first demo for Spelunky.
Oh yeah, the first one was.
for Spelunky was
Oh, I
think it
played
was
the first one so
Open
much.
Sword. Yeah.
Like the original pixel art one.
Yeah, I felt like so for me, Game Maker, I didn't learn a lot of programming from it, but I learned a lot about like game project structure, or like game
Right.
development structure. Like this is how you solve a problem of a character moving across the screen and bosses hitting you and collisions and you moving things through math and stuff like that. And because in a very kind of controlled 2D environment, that was easier to learn than when I sort of jumped to 3D with Unity.
I agree. I had a similar experience. So you're right. It didn't teach me a lot of syntax and coding and stuff, but just how games are structured. Indeed,
Yeah.
that's what I learned there.
How about you, Felix? What did you start out on an engine, or did you start out working with a game project?
I think my very first like game making experience or like editor experience was actually Just Jackrabbit 2, the level editor for that game, which was I used to make levels with a friend, we made some levels and his brother was really good at it. We used to like look at him doing that and stuff. It was very funny because that editor was very geared towards making platforming levels that worked in Just Jackrabbit, but the community really wanted to do more things. Like I remember there was a really cool like kind of Jurassic Park feeling level where you like encounter this abandoned scientific research station on like a dinosaur island or something, which the game isn't about at all. And they added so much. Like you wanted to add more interactive stuff to make kind of narratives and more complicated levels. but there wasn't a way to do that. There was like a very basic trigger system in the game where if you destroyed a crate, that could trigger something else to happen. So the community got really good at hiding crates everywhere, where like they would present it as a button using the graphics, like the tile graphics, but actually it destroyed a hidden crate because that was the only way to make it open a door or something like that. That was very funny, like extremely
Game development is
limited.
all like
environment.
smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how you do it as long as it looks the way you want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also solving problems with tools that are like not at all made to solve problems like that. But then I worked a lot in the source engine, or well, the gold source engine first, making
you
like
said-
Counter-Strike levels.
Yeah, you said you made Half-Life 2 levels. I guess that was for Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I think I got started doing like Counter-Strike 1.6 levels, and then I kind of moved over to the source engine because I wanted to make.
Was that Hammer? What
Yeah,
it's called?
exactly.
Yeah.
The editor.
Then I wanted to work more on like single-player stuff. Like many kids, I made my school in Counter-Strike, which was not appreciated.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it was a different time back then.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I remember having this idea. It was like, oh, the teacher's room, that's where the hostages are gonna be. Yeah, bad idea.
It was
I
a
could never
different
get Hammer
time
to
back then. The internet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't real. Like that was kind of before you shared a lot of stuff online, so there's no trace of that.
Back in my day, you could make an easy Counter-Strike level of your school and nobody would bat an eye. Yeah. I actually got started on Flash, I think. It was the game maker of Flash. That was back in those days, and that was really interesting because like Flash came really from a like graphic design perspective. Like it was a graphics design and like motion graphics and interactive graphics tool. So it was a lot about like before Unity, like having game objects and attaching logic to them and stuff like that. And it spawned a very sort of fun creativity that I think we're sort of seeing today on Steam as well. Just
Right.
people doing all sorts of fun things you wouldn't have thought of with the tools available.
I remember back in the day, a lot of web browser games were made in Flash on websites and stuff. Did you ever finish such a game?
No, I mostly made it and hosted it myself, or like made it for friends and stuff like that. And
Right.
I also ended up getting into like full-time employment and having a family very early on, so I didn't really have time to follow game development as a hobby too much. I did it as a hobby. I pretty much like done it as a hobby since 2009, I think. But it was once I had. That was
That's like 5 minds are just like right behind you.
Yeah. I didn't have too much time to for the past 10 years I haven't had that much time to put into game development
Makes sense.
outside of work, and I always end up doing something that's not sitting in engine and building stuff. Yeah, the what's it called, the curse of middle management.
Oh well. I'd still say that being involved with Deep Rock Galactic is still
Yeah.
a decent compromise there. I would hope.
No. It's I do what I love, and I love what I do. It's
Yeah.
I think it's I just noticed that every year I try to do a game jam, and I've skipped that for the past couple of years. So I try to like do
Hey, 2 points.
finish a game with other people in like a couple of days. And I noticed that I was getting more and more out of touch of the updates to the engines like Unreal and Unity, because it really got into this weird Abe Simpson style joke when I would sit down with the engine going like, back in my day we didn't have 2D tools in Unity, we had to put a texture on a on a what do you call it, tile and have to move it around ourselves. None of this, all these tools you have here today. Cinematograph, what is that? And so I would tend to get more and more every time I would sit down and like open a game project and or start a game project at home. Especially once my kid got older and and we started making games for fun, just so they could make some stuff and feel good about it. I got more and more overwhelmed by sort of all the features in the game engines today, and felt like I had to do a tutorial for each of the new systems that were there, just to be able to like get a drawing to move across the screen.
Yeah, there's a case to be made, I think, for tools that, you know, don't change. Like, of course, it's easy to want new features and things, but some things like if you're used to drawing, for example, you know, pen and paper stuff, then you wouldn't want a pen to suddenly work differently, you know. Like you want some things to be really consistent.
Yeah, and I noticed that I think the tools were still there of how I would like do things the way I learned them, but they were much simpler tools. So I always felt like I was I'd rather should spend my time on learning the new tools. I actually had a pretty good time making some quick games in Godot recently. That was it was sort of like a little bit of a not a reset, but going back a little bit and just trying to make something that seemed to be you know, take a lot of the ideas of how, like, a lot of the concepts for game tools and game engine tools from the past decade and just run with it in a slightly different direction. But
Godot is nice to dabble with. I've also done it a little bit.
Yeah, what do you think of it, Johan?
I think it's nice. It's a bit like, it feels very lightweight, and like it doesn't have maybe as many features as neither Unreal or Unity, but it's like very lightweight and just it's like you can just drag down a 2 GB file and then you can run the engine, and it's like very easy to deal with, and the script language is very familiar with, like, if you know Python or anything like that, it's very close to that. And yeah, I don't know. It seems just very easy and fun to do things in it, and not too much hassle.
It's funny when you open the editor, I think, and it's like, programs can start this fast? Like,
Yeah.
where's the launcher and the update and the...
I also I really like with the Godot that it's they try to push you more towards what's it called, not encapsulation, but there's this design pattern that's
Composition.
Composition. Yeah. You make components rather than trying to make a lot of like class hierarchies and stuff like that.
Oh shit! Come on, White Light! White Light!
XLab having 91X. What a username! Wow, just on YouTube going. Just promoted my 4th dwarf yesterday. Why is your preference between rocket pod or autocannon? Any preferences there? Rocket pod or autocannon?
I like the rockets the most.
Yeah, I
But
think
I've never been a fan of the autocannon.
I think rockets as well. But I usually go more for the minigun.
Yeah.
It is my only love.
Such a classic.
I can't abandon it.
I personally love the
It will
autocannon.
never be an uncool weapon.
Yeah.
Me, Grog Scout, me not know this weapon.
It's a... I don't know how could you describe it. It's like a machine gun, slightly less accurate, but more radius on their how they hurt things. It's very convenient for swarms where you have to kill a bunch of small things quickly.
That gun from Predator.
Oh yeah.
Basically.
I'll dig down to you. I hear riches.
Are we done?
Are we rich?
Soon.
I think we've explored everything.
Yep.
Oh, the bad jokes.
We're done.
There we go.
All right. Obligation completed.
Okay. Relax.
Did we do the mushroom one?
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
Okay. That's probably my favorite voice line in the whole game, where it goes like, mushroom, mushroom, shut up.
That's a great decision to put it in.
I remember that one quite a lot. I felt that it was. I told Robert that I loved the. He was channeling this like Basil Fawlty energy. I don't know if you ever saw Fawlty Towers.
Oh yeah.
But John Cleese
Long
doing
time.
this like. It.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was actually funny because those voice lines, our game director, he didn't tell any of us that he put them in.
Yeah.
So everyone who weren't involved in actually putting them in, it was just like we had to like discover them by accident, basically.
Nice.
It's kind of funny.
he blessed you by doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine being surprised by your own game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it not being a bug also.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I should just dig up there. I kept
I was about
forgetting
to
that.
say, like, Driller, I don't want to think. Solve this problem.
Yeah, you made me think instead.
Pod departing in T-minus 4 minutes.
I really love these tunnels when you get like the visual of all the bugs
Crawling in.
chasing after you. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Out of laser beam.
Something I really like with the classes is I feel like every class has this opportunity to pull off something like these very, dramatic fantasy scenarios almost, where you're like, if you're a scout, you can revive the whole team. If you're a gunner, you can really, like gun down everyone. Or all the bugs, or if you're a driller, you can save the day by drilling, or NG with the pads and things like that. There are certain moments in this game where everything just comes together to give you this kick of like, oh, we made it, we're a team, or like, you saved the day, things like that.
Yeah.
And of course the music.
Yeah. XLab91X also going, hi, I didn't even realize I was on the Ghost Ship channel. Thought you guys were just random gamers. We also play video games, both our own and others. And I mean, I quite enjoy these parts of the week where we just we sit down and hang out with a bunch of people, both on chat and in game. And yeah, this week it's Felix and Oscar from Pugstorm, the developers of Core Keeper. We played Core Keeper last Tuesday. It was super fun, and now they're here playing Deep Rock, showing that that they actually they know Deep Rock much better than we know Core Keeper. Those,
I'm sure we're gonna feel the same about people who play Core Keeper. They're gonna know way more about than we do. I
That's
may
a
put
nice
in the
feeling.
things, but I don't know the exploits.
Yeah, but we've been trying here for the past, I think, year or two to once in a while just hang out with other people that make games, or just other cool people, and play some video games, both Deep Rock and others. And yeah, it's been a ton of fun. And I think that fun is unfortunately gonna come to a bit of a close pretty soon today. We've been going for 2 hours. I haven't enjoyed my time in the mines. I've been up in the space rig. Looking at all the action, but even I'm exhausted at this point. That was quite impressive, that first elite deep dive.
I have a lot of respect for people who do this like eight hours a day and an audience. That's crazy.
It's like their job at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do they have beer? We have beer.
I think they need beer. I think.
Fancy mugs as well. I've not seen this before.
I think that's
It's a supporter too.
Ah,
I think it's the second one, is it, or the first one?
I think it's the.
I think it might be the first one.
I
It's
think
the Glyphid Slammer, right?
It's the second one, I think.
It's not the audio.
It's like the armor.
it
Yeah.
said Ollie Olofs when I picked it up.
Yeah, then it's the second one. Supporter 2.
Come on.
Come on,
Yeah.
give it a twerk.
Well,
Uh,
it's been great having you, Oscar and Felix, and thank you so much for for showing us how to play Deep Rock Galactic.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, and also thanks for playing Core Keeper with us, and say hi to everybody from the team who was there. It was great fun. I think Jacob, it's probably time to find somebody to raid.
Yeah, it's already set up
Yeah.
and ready. So
Yeah. Are we all ready?
let's
Yeah.
shut it on now.
You wanna say a couple of final words before we leave, Oscar and Felix?
Thank you for this game. Thank you so much for this game.
Yeah.
I love this game.
I concur. And say hi to everyone at Ghost Ship from us as well.
Will do.
Will do. Rock and Stone.
Rock and Stone.
Rock and
Stone.